So I gave up my smartphone for this, the BigMe HiBreak Pro that promises clarity, focus, and intentional living. It'll stop you from doom scrolling. And so it was obvious for me to switch and try it out. It's been a weird week, but at the same time, it's quite wonderful. All right, so this is the BigMe HiBreak Pro, and this phone isn't a Palma, and it's not a Kindle, or maybe it's like a Kindle, but with a facelift on a vegan diet. Check this out, team. This phone is Android, so you can install apps, and this E-Ink screen forces you to slow down. So imagine trying to text message somebody. It's like you're sending a letter across the world. So here's how my week went using this E-Ink device. The display of this device looks very, very good. You can't help but to look at it.
Oh, look at that, look at that.
Yeah,
look at that.
And if you tell that to the cops, they're not going to give you any consideration.
Oh, look at that.
There were some bloatware to this device, so I uninstalled T-Mobile app. I installed the voice recorder, the WPS, which is Microsoft Office, OneNote, Dropbox, and Calculator. And I ended up installing 2 unique apps I think it's worth mentioning. And I'm still testing it, but it's called Niagara Launcher, right over here. And the Before Launcher. So this will make your phone more minimalistic and allow you to put what's important for you whenever you unlock this device. For me, it's gonna be the Maps, Messaging, Contacts, Calendar, Audible, Bookshelf, and Wallet. And if I wanna go to other apps, I can just slide to the right and it'll show all the other apps that I installed. If I wanna get out, I just swipe up. For the Niagara Launcher, it'll look like this. So it's a lot more smaller, but again, I have what I want here. And if I wanna go to other apps, I can just click here and scroll down to whichever apps I want to use. Even though I do review E-Ink screens and intentional devices, I still felt like the screen felt unfamiliar versus my iPhone screen. It took some time to adjust, but I got over it really quick. But I felt like that's worth mentioning because that's just how I felt. What I also ended up doing is using the Google Messaging app, and I also added this vibration feeling to whenever I text message people, so that way I can get more tactile feeling and make it feel more comfortable for me. So if I wanted to message my friend Jesus right over here, I'll say, "Hey, what's up, brother?" Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring my microphone close so you can hear how it sounds. And I have it on 5. I think there's 10 being the most and 1 being hardly any vibration. So I have it on 5. I also felt like the fingerprint reader and the face recognition camera was really reliable and quick. Another thing I want to add is this case. So I felt like this silicone case was cheap, and I still feel that way, but I do like the grooves here. It really helped me hold that phone secure in my hands whenever I grab it off the counter. So I do want to say that this is actually pretty reliable. As far as the camera goes, it was okay. This is me with good lighting, and tell me what you think about the audio quality and the video quality. And it does look grainy, but let's just be honest here. We're not going to be using this phone to post on our OnlyFans. So if you're thinking about using this camera, I'd say go with a different camera because this is not it, y'all. This is definitely not it. And maybe this will give you a reason to start using your digital camera, the one that you have in your drawer. As far as the refresh mode, I found that I use the video mode the most because of the quick responsiveness. I do also want to say that there is a learning curve because most of the Android apps aren't optimized for E-Ink. So it took some time adjusting to the refresh mode and DPI settings. But once you get it down, you will see a difference. So if you're thinking about getting a phone like this, you really want to play around with the refresh mode. So you place your finger on the right corner, you will slide down to these options here. You want to go to E-Ink Center and it will show you a list of refresh modes for each app. And I found that I've been using the video mode a lot more often because of how quick and responsive it is. There is a learning curve because most of the Android apps aren't optimized for E-Ink. So it took some time adjusting to the refresh mode and the DPI setting. But once you get it down, you will see a difference in quality. So here's an example of how that might look like. If I go to Kindle and I go to the E-Ink Center, for this specific app, I like to have it on magazine or comic just because it looks better when it comes to the contrast. If I have it on video, this contrast will look differently now. It will look less appealing to the eye. So if I were you, then I would have it on magazine or comic, and you can also customize it however you like, and you can play around with the contrast setting, but most of the time I don't play around with that. I just go to magazine or comic because it's much more easier. So just imagine you would have to do that in every app. And it will save it. I'm telling you right now, it will save it. I also love that they give you options for lighting experience. And you can have different levels depending on the day. And it gives you the amber lighting and it also gives you the daytime lighting. So you can play around with that depending on the day. It also gives you quick options such as lights out. It gives you daytime, nighttime, bedding, and of course there's auto and then other. So it will return to the previous saved options. I did change these buttons over here. For instance, if I go back to Kindle and I want to go back, I just click this and it'll take me back to the previous page. When it comes to the GPS, I really like this. Like, look how responsive that is. And the only reason I was able to get it this responsive is because I have it on the video mode here, which is on extreme. So it's gonna be super fast and responsive using this mode. I did say in my other videos that it was gonna be glitchy, but I was wrong here, super wrong. And my suspicion is that when I had the original HiBreak that launched in 2024, it wasn't on video extreme mode. However, I do lose a lot of battery life when I use GPS. This phone does come with a pre-applied screen protector. And when I first unboxed it, it had a small bubble. It still has a small bubble on the top and bottom corner of this device. And it hasn't peeled off yet, but as time goes by, I will give you guys an update and see how long it's lasting. But let's be real, y'all. Like the phone isn't perfect. BigMe really needs to have "Are you sure?" button before a major decision, such as changing a language. Because one day when I was playing around with the phone, I accidentally pressed the Arabic language and it changed the entire phone to that language, making it a frustrating day to put it all back together again. There's also lighting on the corners of the phone, which is odd to me. I'm not sure what's happening here, which makes me feel uneasy about the longevity of this device. And I also couldn't update to the latest firmware, which is the 1.9.6. It kept on saying failing, but I'm hoping that next time they launch a firmware, I'm able to download that one. Maybe for some of y'all, this might be a con, but for social media and YouTube, still possible, but painfully slow because not watching cat videos, like, it's a true tragedy for me. However, at the end of the day, it's actually a good thing for me since I tend to use them a lot. This is the BigMe HiBreak Pro. It's not flashy, it's not addictive, and it's definitely not for everyone. However, if you're ready to break up with your smartphone, then this might be it. I do have a video of me unboxing this device, and I'll leave it right over here if you want to watch it. With that being said, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you on the next. Namaste.